There are some plans to turn a WWE star heel that we're going to talk about. Plus, we've got details of a very last-minute Royal Rumble return and find out how WWE are going to break up the Seth Rollins faction. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. Blake Monroe rocking up on NXT. The former Mariah May got a lot of people talking. She's going to be a big part of that brand for the foreseeable, but not maybe in the way that we're seeing her currently, Andrew.
Yes. Don't get used to Blake Monroe as a babyface on NXT, everybody, right?
Okay.
According to Fightful Select, there's already plans afoot to change that. They say a heel run for Blake Monroe on NXT has already been discussed. We haven't heard specifically when it could happen, but that it was brought up for the near future.
I think that's the right call.
I think it's the right call too. I think she is probably going to be the one to defeat potentially a Jordan Grace who holds the NXT Women's Championship.
A heel Blake Monroe as champion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some people naturally gravitate more to being a heel.
Yeah.
I still think that about Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
I don't bite on Tiffany Stratton as a babyface champion. I don't. I think she's better as a bad guy.
Yeah, I agree. There's something about, I mean, when she was in NXT, she sort of had that rich girl brattiness about her. Yeah. And I quite like that. And I kind of see, with the stuff that we saw from Mariah May in AEW, that heel run was so good. She's got so much just energy as a heel. And I know we haven't seen too much of her as a babyface in NXT yet. She's barely been there. But at the same time, I just like the heel Mariah May / Blake Monroe.
Yeah.
I just like that sort of side of her. So to see her tap into that in NXT against a babyface Jordan Grace, who could potentially also have the TNA Women's Championship on her shoulder as well, quite exciting.
Very excited. Now, people were excited to hear that Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne were backstage at Raw t'other week, but it turned out, according to reports, that both were suffering injuries and out of action. However, that has been rebuked. Revoked is something different.
Yes.
Rebuked. Tyler Bates denied it.
He's denied it, right? He went on Instagram, he shared a picture of himself wearing a lovely hat. It's a lovely hat.
I've not been the same since I fell out of the ring in Coventry.
Oh, no, don't say that.
I think something's wrong in my head's banana.
Something's happened. What, are we going to get like the split personality? Are we going to get like the Mick Foley stuff from you?
That's a silly idea. That's a stupid idea!
Oh my God.
No, let's not.
Let's not do that. Tyler Bates shared a picture on Instagram, everybody, wearing a lovely hat. But not only was the hat very lovely, it came with a caption too saying, "Not injured, waiting."
Oh, for a bus.
For a bus.
Yeah, so that's Tyler Bates basically confirming that they're not injured. They're just hanging on and waiting for their next bit of booking. They are benched, essentially, currently, for the time being. Which is sad, because like Tyler Bate, in particular, I think an excellent talent.
What about Pete Dunne?
Pete Dunne is also an excellent talent.
Thank you.
But I like the new Catch Republic thing.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of, obviously, it's the West Midlands connection.
Yeah.
And, with West Midlands has been in the news loads this weekend, what with the Black Sabbath concert at Villa Park the other weekend. And I thought that would have been a nice time to see a Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne return as well. West Midlands reunited, but no, they're still benched. We'll let you know when they are no longer benched. Exactly.
I want them. Do you know what? I would very much like them to be when this draft happens, if this draft ever happens. I think if we're gonna do shake-ups for tag teams, them being on the Raw side of things would be nice. I mean, they're fitting perfectly with all the SmackDown teams at the moment, but there's a lot of SmackDown teams doing stuff for them tag team titles, so we'll send them over to do more stuff on Raw.
But again, when the draft happens.
Are they already on Raw? I can't even remember, Tom.
They were on SmackDown, I thought, last time I checked.
There you go.
But they could put them on Raw. but WWE, the most successful thing to hold off a draft since that big snake that my nan used to have at the bottom of her door. Put a picture of that in there. Oh, well, that's a joke that's aged me horribly. Alexa Bliss was on Nikki and Bree's podcast having a chat about her WWE return. There was lots of reports that said that this return was incredibly lastminute.com. And Alexa Bliss confirms this. She says in the interview with Nikki and Brie Bella, "I got the call at midnight the night before the Royal Rumble. It wasn't fully decided until 4 a.m. and I got a call at 5. And they said, all right, We need you on a plane by 10 a.m. I'm in my house at 3 a.m. I'm trying not to wake up the baby because my gear is next to her closet, and I'm looking through my gear going, all right, what could still fit me? No one knew I was there, not even the girls. They didn't know I was there until I was in the gorilla position. No one knew. I get you keep these things a secret because it stops leaks coming out, but I really felt for it. I mean, both exciting and stressful.
Oh,
when
midnight.
you get a call at like, at midnight, you go, we might need you for the Rumble. Can you hang on? So then you're awake for like 5 hours, and then they call you, go, yeah, we do need you. And you go, oh gosh. Darling, I've got to go and be in the Royal Rumble. Be back in about 3 days. And then you're having to sneak and get stuff out your cupboard to not wake the baby, because that's a whole other thing. It's a really very real conversation that she has on the Nikki and Brie show, and it's worth going to check that one out if you have a little bit of lemon and lime. Meanwhile, back to Raw we go. One thing that I've loved on Raw is the building of Seth Rollins faction. It takes me back to eras of like decent faction wars. I'm not talking about DOA and Los Boricuas. No, good factions, you know? Shut up.
How dare you?
Sorry, Skull and 8 Ball. Sorry, Miguel Perez. Love you, really. I do love Miguel Perez, really. But when it comes to like building factions, I've enjoyed watching Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman all start to kind of get their pieces together. But a source has told Viper Reports how this faction is going to fall away.
Yeah, they say Braun Breaker is eventually going to turn on Seth Rollins. It's still a long way off, but the seeds have already been planted. The company sees Breaker as the future of the main event scene, and when the time comes, the split from Rollins is expected to be explosive. Also worth noting, Breaker is likely to take Paul Heyman with him when the moment comes.
I see Braun Breaker just becoming a dominant force in the main event scene.
1,000%. I feel like this whole sort of faction thing at the moment is to then propel Braun Breaker onto some bigger things.
Yeah.
For sure. And him with Paul Heyman, which like they've already teased before on like on NXT and stuff like that too. I think them two together will be incredible. Braun is good on the mic, but like just with Paul Heyman in there is a little bit of something else. I think that really elevates him to that next level.
I think, definitely a mouthpiece like Paul Heyman is going to be what really makes the difference for Braun Breaker. Not only by watching this have you learned potentially how the Seth Rollins faction is going to break up, but in a video we dropped yesterday, you now know that Joel Holland has a lower body. That was a shocker, wasn't it?
A lower body?
A lower body. Because we've only ever seen his head on Joel Cam.
His head was confined within the dimension of Joel Cam.
Actually, his upper body we now know exists.
Yes.
The lower body is still in doubt.
Oh.
I think it could just be a wheel, like a robot from a cartoon. But either way, Joel Holland on with Ross playing higher or lower.
He did a fantastic job. He's so good in his first like proper debut within a video context, I guess, away from the podcast. He was so good. How did it go? Well, you'll have to find out and watch it. But what a handsome man that Joel is.
He truly is. I remember when I joined, you were very lovely about me getting here. I know when Andrew debuted on camera, you were very lovely. We're very blessed to have a really wonderful community here at Cultaholic. Go give that same love to Joel Holland, because he is a lovely boy.
Shagger.
He is, that too, so I hear. And for the very latest wrestling news and no news about Joel Holland shagging at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Keys.
I love you, bye.
It's a separate website for that.
Oh.